What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. In this one, Lions get some great news on the defensive line, as two defensive linemen will remain under contract in 2026 due to an interesting rule. Go over that, plus a player that has been named a free agent the Lions should target in free agency. And we also go over former Lions cornerback Carlton Davis on his stint with the Lions, and also Jared Goff speaks on the new OC hire out of Drew Petzing and why he is excited for next season. It's all going to be in this video, so let's go ahead and get right into it here. Alright, so the Detroit Lions got some good news on the defensive line recently here, as two defensive linemen will remain under contract in 2026 due to little known rules. First, defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike. He signed a one-year deal last offseason and was expected to face free agency in 2026 when the new league year starts in March. However, that's not how it will unfold with Onwuzurike, as basically due to a lesser known rule here in the collective bargaining agreement, Onwuzurike's one-year contract will actually toll over to 2026, which means he is under contract in Detroit and will remain so when the new league year hits. Now, Onwuzurike re-signed with the team last March. However, he was out for the year with the torn ACL. Lions opted to put him on the physically unable to perform reserve list, and because there is a stipulation in the CBA that a player who is on the final year of his contract and spends the entire season on the PUP reserve list, they will see their contract toll over to the next year. So basically, Onwuzurike's contract was paused in 2025 and will now carry over to the 2026 season. And then also, Lions defensive end Josh Paschal also remains under contract due to a similar rule, this time regarding the non-football injury list, as stated in Article 20, Section 3, Part B. A player on non-football injury who is in the final year of his contract will have his contract tolled. However, if the player is physically able to perform his football services on or before the 6th regular season game, the club must pay the player his negotiated paragraph 5 salary for the balance of the season in order to toll such player's contract. And similarly for Onwuzurike, any player placed on a physically unable to perform list will be paid his full paragraph 5 salary while on such list. His contract will not be tolled for the period he is on PUP, except in the last year of his contract, when the player's contract will be tolled if he is still physically unable to perform his football services as of the 6th regular season game. So Onwuzurike's and Paschal's contracts have tolled, and the 2025 deals will carry over to 2026. Pretty interesting news right there for the Detroit Lions, and could be great for depth, obviously, on the defensive line, as that is very, very important, especially with all the injuries the Lions have been facing the past few years here. And speaking of injuries, obviously, another position that have been getting decimated with injuries is the Lions secondary and at cornerback. And PFF recently listed one 2026 free agent that every NFL football team should pursue, and for the Detroit Lions it was Roger McCreary, according to Bradley Locker. As he said, as the Lions head into an offseason of critical reflection, they'll likely lament what's happened to the state of their cornerback room by the end of the last two seasons. Although significant investments have been made, more is needed, especially on the inside with Amik Robertson no longer under contract. As McCreary in October 2025 was traded by the Titans along with a conditional 2026 6th-round pick to the Rams for a conditional 5th-round pick, as the former 2nd-round NFL draft pick could bring inside-outside versatility with potentially starting upside in the cornerback room for the Lions. And again, obviously, cornerbacks Terrion Arnold, DJ Reed, Ennis Rakestraw missed significant time for the Lions due to various injuries. And Amik Robertson, not under contract yet, could return still in 2026 though. And along within the secondary, it appears that the Lions' biggest needs in free agency and also in the NFL draft is in the trenches on both sides, as they need to address defensive end and also offensive tackle and center position. Speaking of cornerbacks, former Lions cornerback Carlton Davis spoke on his stint with the Lions and now being in the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. As according to Detroit Free Press's Dave Burkett, Davis said that it should have been 2 straight years I'm here. I think about that a lot. That's just how the NFL goes sometimes, though. You got a great team, great coaching staff, great culture, but sometimes the team can have injuries. Injuries, that's the name of the game. It's who can be the healthiest the longest, and usually the team that wins it is the healthiest team. But he still said that he loves Detroit, and before the season started, I was rooting for those guys as far as like them making it back to the playoffs. And he said he's still got a lot of close relationships with the team, as Carlton Davis now with the New England Patriots, looking to win a Super Bowl with them this season. And also according to Dave Burkett of the Detroit Free Press, Jared Goff spoke on the new offensive coordinator hire of Drew Petzing, as Goff spoke to the media at the practice for the 2026 Pro Bowl games. He was asked if he's looked at Petzing's offense and his thoughts on it. He said, yeah, I watched a ton of it. I'm excited. Been on the phone with Petzing and gone through some things, and he's very smart, very bright, can speak it, can say it, understands what I'm talking about. So he said he's really excited, and Goff said that I think the thing that excites me the most is going to be his versatility. He's not tied to an offense. We're going to kind of run what we're best at and what we should be doing, which some of the stuff we've done the last few years, that's worked. And obviously Lions also brought in Mike Kafka, who was another offensive coordinator candidate and for the job here for the Detroit Lions, but they brought him in and will be playing a big role for this offensive staff next season for the Detroit Lions, and should excel, especially in the passing game for the Lions next season. That's what Jared Goff had to say on Drew Petzing. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video.